First Enoch, the Hermeneia translation, George W. E. Nicholsberg and James C. Vanderkam. The Book of the Parables, comprising chapters 37 through 71. Chapter 37. The vision of wisdom that Enoch saw. The son of Jared, the son of Mahalalel, the son of Kenan, the son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam. This is the beginning of the words of wisdom, which I took up to recount to those who dwell on the earth. Listen, O ancients, and look, you who come after, the words of the Holy One, which I speak in the presence of the Lord of spirits. It is profitable to speak these things at first, and from those who come after, let us not withhold the beginning of wisdom. Until now, there had not been given from the presence of the Lord of spirits such wisdom as I have received according to my insight, according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits, by whom the lot of everlasting life was given to me. 3 parables were imparted to me, and I took them up and spoke to those who dwell on the earth. Chapters 38 through 44. The first parable. When the congregation of the righteous appears, the sinners are judged for their sins, and from the face of the earth they are driven. And when the righteous one appears, in the presence of the righteous, whose chosen works depend on the Lord of spirits, and light appears to the righteous and chosen who dwell on the earth, where will be the dwelling place of the sinners? And where will be the resting place of those who have denied the Lord of spirits? It would have been better for them if they had not been born. When his hidden things are revealed to the righteous, the sinners will be judged, and the wicked will be driven from the presence of the righteous and chosen. And thereafter it will not be the mighty and exalted who possess the land, and they will not be able to look at the face of the holy, for the light of the Lord of spirits will have appeared on the face of the holy, righteous, and chosen. And then the kings and mighty will perish, and they will be given into the hand of the righteous and holy. And from then on, no one will seek mercy from them. No one will seek mercy for them from the Lord of spirits, for their life will be at an end. In those days, sons of the chosen and holy were descending from the highest heaven, and their seed was becoming one with the sons of men. In those days Enoch received books of jealous wrath and rage, and books of trepidation and consternation. And in those days a whirlwind snatched me up from the face of the earth and set me down within the confines of the heavens. And there I saw another vision, the dwellings of the holy ones, and the resting places of the righteous. There my eyes saw their dwellings with his righteous angels, and their resting places with the holy ones. And they were petitioning and interceding, and were praying for the sons of men. And righteousness was flowing like water before them, and mercy like dew upon the earth. Thus it is among them forever and ever. And in that place my eyes saw the chosen one of righteousness and faith. And righteousness will be his days, and the righteous and chosen will be without number before him forever and ever. And I saw his dwelling beneath the wings of the Lord of spirits, and all the righteous and chosen were mighty before him like fiery lights. And their mouths were full of blessing, and their lips praised the name of the Lord of spirits. And righteousness did not fail before him, nor did truth fail before him. There I wished to dwell, and my spirit longed for that dwelling. There my lot had been before, for thus it has been established concerning me in the presence of the Lord of spirits. In those days I praised and exalted the name of the Lord of spirits with blessing and praise, for he has established me for blessing and praise according to the good pleasure of the Lord of spirits. And for a long time my eyes looked at that place, and I blessed him and praised him, saying, Blessed is he, and may he be blessed from the beginning and forever. In his presence there is no limit. He knew before the age was created what would be forever, and for all the generations that will be. Those who sleep not bless you, and they stand in the presence of your glory. And they bless and praise and exalt, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits. He fills the earth with spirits. And there my eyes saw all who sleep not. They stand in his presence, and they bless and say, Blessed are you, and blessed is the name of the Lord forever and ever. And my face was changed, for I was unable to see. And after this I saw thousands of thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They were innumerable and incalculable, who were standing in the presence of the glory of the Lord of spirits. I looked, and on the four sides of the Lord of spirits I saw 4 figures different from those who sleep not. And I learned their names, because the angel who went with me and showed me all the hidden things made their names known to me. And I heard the voices of those 4 figures uttering praise in the presence of the Lord of glory. The first voice blesses the Lord of spirits forever and ever, and the second voice I heard blessing the chosen one, and the chosen ones who depend on the Lord of spirits. And the third voice I heard petitioning and praying for those who dwell on the earth, and interceding in the name of the Lord of spirits. And the fourth voice I heard driving away the Satans, and he did not let them come before the Lord of spirits to accuse those who dwell on the earth. And after that I asked the angel of peace, who went with me and showed me everything that is hidden, Who are these 4 figures that I have seen, and whose words I have heard and written down? And he said to me, The first one, who is merciful and long-suffering, is Michael. The second one, who is in charge of every sickness and every wound of the sons of men, is Raphael. The third one, who is in charge of every power, is Gabriel. The fourth one, who is in charge of the repentance to hope of those who inherit everlasting life, his name is Panuel. These are the 4 angels of the Lord of spirits, and the 4 voices I heard in those days. And after this I saw all the secrets of heaven, how the kingdom is divided, and how human deeds are weighed in the balance. There I saw the dwelling places of the chosen, and the dwelling places of the holy ones. And my eyes saw there all the sinners who deny the name of the Lord of spirits, being driven away from there. And they dragged them off, and they could not remain, because of the scourge that went forth from the Lord of spirits. For no angel hinders, and no power is able to hinder, for the judge sees them all and judges them all in his presence. Wisdom did not find a place where she might dwell, so her dwelling was in the heavens. Wisdom went forth to dwell among the sons of men, but she did not find a dwelling. Wisdom returned to her place and sat down in the midst of the angels. Iniquity went forth from her chambers. Those whom she did not seek, she found, and she dwelt among them, like rain in a desert, and dew in a thirsty land. And there my eyes saw the secrets of the lightnings and the thunder, and the secrets of the wind, how they are divided to blow upon the earth, and the secrets of the clouds and the dew. And there I saw whence they proceed in that place, and from there they saturate the dust of the earth. There I saw closed storehouses, and from them the winds are distributed. The storehouse of the hail and the winds, the storehouse of the mist and of the clouds. And its cloud abides over the earth since the beginning of the age. And I saw the storehouses of the sun and the moon, from which they emerge and to which they return, and their glorious return, and how the one is more praiseworthy than the other, and their splendid course. And they do not leave the course, and they neither extend nor diminish their course, and they keep faith with one another according to the oath that they have sworn. And first the sun emerges and completes its path according to the command of the Lord of spirits, and his name endures forever and ever. And after that I saw the invisible and visible path of the moon. It completes the course of its path in that place by day and by night. And the one is opposite the other in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and they give praise and glory and do not rest, for their praise is rest for them. For the sun makes many revolutions for a blessing and a curse. And the course of the path of the moon is light to the righteous and darkness to the sinners. In the name of the Lord, who distinguished between light and darkness, and divided the spirits of humanity, and strengthened the spirits of the righteous in the name of his righteousness. And I saw other lightnings and stars of heaven, and I saw that he called them by their names, and they listened to him. I saw a righteous balance, how they are weighed according to their light, according to the breadth of their spaces and the day of their appearing. I saw how their revolution produces lightning, and their revolution is according to the number of the angels, and they keep their faith with one another. And I asked the angel who went with me and showed me what was hidden, "What are these?" And he said to me, "The Lord of spirits has shown you a parable concerning them. These are the names of the holy ones who dwell on the earth, and believe in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever." And another thing I saw regarding the lightning, how some stars arise and become lightning, and they cannot depart from their form. Chapters 45 through 57. This is the second parable concerning those who deny the name of the dwelling of the holy ones and of the Lord of spirits. To heaven they will not ascend, and on earth they will not come. Thus will be the lot of the sinners who have denied the name of the Lord of spirits, who will be kept thus for the day of affliction and tribulation. On that day my chosen one will sit on the throne of glory, and he will test their works. And their dwelling places will be innumerable, and their souls will be distressed within them, when they see my chosen ones and those who appeal to my glorious name. On that day I shall make my chosen one dwell among them, and I shall transform heaven, and make it a blessing and a light forever. And I shall transform the earth and make it a blessing, and my chosen ones I shall make to dwell on it. But those who commit sin and error will not set foot on it. For I have seen and satisfied my righteous ones with peace, and have made them to dwell in my presence. But the judgment of the sinners has drawn near to me. that I may destroy them from the face of the earth. There I saw one who had a head of days, and his head was like white wool, and with him was another whose face was like the appearance of a man, and his face was full of graciousness, like one of the holy angels. And I asked the angel of peace, who went with me and showed me all the hidden things, about that Son of Man, who he was, and whence he was, and why he went with the head of days. And he answered me and said to me, This is the Son of Man who has righteousness, and righteousness dwells with him, and all the treasuries of what is hidden he will reveal. For the Lord of spirits has chosen him, and his lot has prevailed through truth in the presence of the Lord of spirits forever. And this Son of Man, whom you have seen, he will raise the kings and the mighty from their couches, and the strong from their thrones. He will loosen the reins of the strong, and he will crush the teeth of the sinners. He will overturn the kings from their thrones and their kingdoms, because they do not exalt him or praise him, or humbly acknowledge whence the kingdom was given to them. The face of the strong he will turn aside, and he will fill them with shame. Darkness will be their dwelling, and worms will be their couch, and they will have no hope to rise from their couches, because they do not exalt the name of the Lord of spirits. These are they who judge the stars of heaven, and raise their hands against the Most High, and tread upon the earth and dwell on it. All their deeds manifest unrighteousness, and their power rests upon their wealth. Their faith is in the gods they have made with their hands, and they deny the name of the Lord of spirits, and they persecute the houses of his congregation. And the faithful who depend on the name of the Lord of spirits. In those days there had arisen the prayer of the righteous, and the blood of the righteous one from the earth into the presence of the Lord of spirits. In these days the holy ones who dwell in the heights of heaven were uniting with one voice, and they were glorifying and praising and blessing the name of the Lord of spirits, and were interceding and praying in behalf of the blood of the righteous that had been shed, and the prayer of the righteous, that it might not be in vain in the presence of the Lord of spirits. That judgment might be executed for them, and endurance might not be their lot forever. In those days I saw the head of days as he took his seat on the throne of his glory, and the books of the living were opened in his presence, and all his host, which was in the heights of heaven, and his court, were standing in his presence. And the hearts of the holy ones were filled with joy, for the number of the righteous was at hand, and the prayer of the righteous had been heard, and a reckoning of the blood of the righteous one had been required in the presence of the Lord of spirits. In that place I saw the spring of righteousness, and it was inexhaustible, and many springs of wisdom surrounded it. And all the thirsty drank from them, and were filled with wisdom, and their dwelling places were with the righteous, and the holy, and the chosen. And in that hour that Son of Man was named in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and his name before the head of days. Even before the sun and the constellations were created, before the stars of heaven were made, his name was named before the Lord of spirits. He will be a staff for the righteous, that they may lean on him and not fall. He will be the light of the nations, and he will be a hope for those who grieve in their hearts. All who dwell on the earth will fall down and worship before him, and they will glorify and bless and sing hymns to the name of the Lord of spirits. For this reason he was chosen and hidden in his presence. before the world was created, and forever. And the wisdom of the Lord of spirits has revealed him to the holy and the righteous. For he has preserved the lot of the righteous. For they have hated and despised this age of unrighteousness. Indeed, all its deeds and its ways they have hated in the name of the Lord of spirits. For in his name they are saved, and he is the vindicator of their lives. In those days, downcast will be the faces of the kings of the earth, and the strong who possess the land because of the deeds of their hands. For on the day of their tribulation and distress, they will not save themselves, and into the hand of my chosen ones I shall throw them. As straw in the fire, and as lead in the water. Thus they will burn before the face of the holy, and they will sink before the face of the righteous, and no trace of them will be found. And on the day of their distress there will be rest on the earth, and before them they will fall and not rise. And there will be no one to take them with his hand and raise them, for they have denied the Lord of spirits and his anointed one. Blessed be the name of the Lord of spirits. For wisdom has been poured out like water, and glory will not fail in his presence forever and ever. For he is mighty in all the secrets of righteousness, and unrighteousness will vanish like a shadow, and will have no place to stand. For the chosen one has taken his stand in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and his glory is forever and ever, and his might to all generations. And in him dwell the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit of insight, and the spirit of instruction and might, and the spirit of those who have fallen asleep in righteousness. And he will judge the things that are secret, and a lying word none will be able to speak in his presence. For he is the chosen one, in the presence of the Lord of spirits, according to his good pleasure. In those days a change will occur for the holy and chosen, and the light of many days will dwell upon them, and glory and honor will return to the holy. On the day of distress, evil will be stored up against the sinners, and the righteous will conquer in the name of the Lord of spirits. And he will show this to the others, so that they repent and abandon the works of their hands. And they will have honor in the presence of the Lord of spirits. And in his name they will be saved. And the Lord of spirits will have mercy on them, for great is his mercy. But he is righteous in his judgment, and in the presence of his glory unrighteousness will not stand. At his judgment the unrepentant will perish in his presence. And hereafter I will have no mercy on them, says the Lord of spirits. In those days the earth will give back what has been entrusted to it, and Sheol will give back what has been entrusted to it, and destruction will restore what it owes. For in those days my chosen one will arise, and choose the righteous and holy from among them. For the day on which they will be saved has drawn near, and the chosen one in those days will sit upon my throne, and all the secrets of wisdom will go forth from the counsel of his mouth. For the Lord of spirits has given them to him and glorified him. In those days the mountains will leap like rams, and the hills will skip like lambs satisfied with milk, and the faces of all the angels in heaven will be radiant with joy, and the earth will rejoice, and the righteous will dwell on it, and the chosen will go upon it. After those days, in that place where I had seen all the visions of what is hidden, for I had been carried off in a whirlwind, and they had taken me to the west. There my eyes saw all the hidden things of heaven that will take place, a mountain of iron, and a mountain of copper, and a mountain of silver, and a mountain of gold, and a mountain of soft metal, and a mountain of lead. And I asked the angel who went with me, "What are these things that I have seen in secret?" And he said to me, "All these things that you have seen will be for the authority of his anointed one, so that he may be powerful and mighty on the earth." And that angel of peace answered and said to me, "Wait a little while, and all the hidden things that surround the Lord of spirits will be revealed to you. These mountains that your eyes saw, the mountain of iron, and the mountain of copper, and the mountain of silver, and the mountain of gold, and the mountain of soft metal, and the mountain of lead, all these will be before the chosen one like wax before the fire, and like the water that comes down from above upon these mountains, and they will be weak before his feet. And in those days none will save himself, either by gold or silver, and none will be able to flee, and there will not be iron for war, nor a garment for a breastplate. Copper will be of no use, and tin will be reckoned as nothing, and lead will not be desired. All these will be rejected and destroyed from the face of the earth, when the chosen one appears before the Lord of spirits. There my eyes saw a deep valley, and its mouth was open. And all who dwell on the land and the sea and the islands will bring it gifts and presents and tribute. But that valley will not become full. Their hands commit lawless deeds, and everything that the righteous labor over the sinners lawlessly devour. And from the presence of the Lord of spirits the sinners will perish, and from the face of his earth they will be taken, and they will perish forever and ever. For I saw all the angels of punishment dwelling there, and preparing all the instruments of Satan. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, "These instruments, for whom are they preparing them?" And he said to me, "They are preparing these for the kings and the mighty of this earth, that they may perish thereby. And after this, the righteous and chosen one will cause the house of his congregation to appear. From then on, they will not be hindered in the name of the Lord of spirits. And these mountains will be in the presence of his righteousness as wax, and the hills will be like a fountain of water, and the righteous will rest from the oppression of the sinners." And I looked and turned to another part of the earth, and I saw there a deep valley with burning fire. And they brought the kings and the mighty, and threw them into that deep valley. And there my eyes saw them making their instruments, iron chains of immeasurable weight. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, "For whom are these chains being prepared?" And he said to me, "These are being prepared for the host of Azazel, that they might take them and throw them into the abyss of complete judgment. And with jagged rocks they will cover their jaws, as the Lord of spirits commanded. And Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Panuel will take hold of them on that great day, and throw them on that day into the burning furnace, that the Lord of spirits may take vengeance on them for their unrighteousness in becoming servants of Satan and leading astray those who dwell on the earth. In those days the punishment of the Lord of spirits will come forth, and he will open all the chambers of the waters that are above the heavens, and the fountains that are beneath the earth, and all the waters will be joined with the waters. The water that is above the heavens is male, and the water that is beneath the earth is female, and they will obliterate all who dwell on the earth and who dwell beneath the ends of heaven. And when they have recognized their iniquities that they have done on the earth, then by these they will be destroyed. And after that, the head of days repented and said, In vain have I destroyed all who dwell on the earth. And he swore by his great name, Henceforth I shall not do so to all who dwell on the earth. And I will set a sign in heaven, and it will be a pledge of faithfulness between me and them forever, as long as heaven is above the earth, and this is in accordance with my ordinance. When I have desired to take hold of them by the hand of the angels, on the day of tribulation and distress in the face of my punishment and wrath, I will make my punishment and wrath dwell upon them, says the Lord of spirits. Mighty kings who dwell on the earth, you will have to witness my chosen one, how he will sit on the throne of glory and judge Azazel and all his associates and all his host in the name of the Lord of spirits. And I saw there hosts of angels of punishment going, and they were holding chains of iron and bronze. And I asked the angel of peace who went with me, To whom are these who are holding the chains going? And he said to me, To their chosen and beloved ones, that they may be thrown into the chasm of the abyss of the valley. Then that valley will be filled with their chosen and beloved ones, and the days of their life will be at an end, and the days of their leading astray will henceforth not be reckoned. In those days, the angels will assemble themselves and hurl themselves toward the east against the Parthians and Medes. They will stir up the kings, and a spirit of agitation will come upon them, and they will shake them off their thrones. They will break out like lions from their lairs, and like hungry wolves in the midst of their flocks. They will go up and trample the land of my chosen ones, and the land of my chosen ones will be before them like a threshing floor and a beaten path. But the city of my righteous ones will be a hindrance to their horses. They will begin to make war among themselves, and their right hand will be strong against themselves. A man will not acknowledge his brother, nor a son his father or his mother, until the number of corpses will be enough due to their slaughter, and their punishment will not be in vain. In those days Sheol will open its mouth, and they will sink into it, and their destruction will be at an end. Sheol will devour the sinners from the presence of the chosen. After that, I saw another host of chariots and people riding in them, and they came upon the winds from the east and the west toward the south. And the noise of the rumbling of their chariots was heard. When this commotion took place, the holy ones took note from heaven, and the pillars of the earth were shaken from their bases. It was heard from one end of the heaven to the other in one moment, and they all fell down and worshipped the Lord of spirits. This is the end of the second parable. Chapters 58 through 69. And I began to speak the third parable concerning the righteous and concerning the chosen. Blessed are you, righteous and chosen, for glorious will be your lot. The righteous will be in the light of the sun, and the chosen in the light of everlasting life. The days of their life will have no end, and the days of the holy will be innumerable. They will seek the light and find righteousness with the Lord of spirits. There will be peace for the righteous in the name of the eternal Lord. And after this, it will be said to the holy ones that they should seek in heaven the secrets of righteousness, the lot of faith. For the sun has risen upon the earth, and darkness has passed away. There will be light that does not cease, and to a limit of days they will not come, for darkness will first have been destroyed, and light will endure before the Lord of spirits. The light of truth will endure forever before the Lord of spirits. In those days my eyes saw the secrets of the lightnings and the luminaries and their laws. They flash for a blessing or for a curse, as the Lord of spirits wills. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, and how, when it crashes in the heights of heaven, its sound is heard in the dwelling places of the earth. He showed me the sound of the thunder for peace and blessing, or for a curse, according to the word of the Lord of spirits. After that, all the secrets of the luminaries and the lightnings were shown to me, how they flash for blessing and for satisfaction. And the other angel who went with me and showed me what is hidden told me what is first and last in heaven in the height, and beneath the earth in the abyss, and at the ends of heaven, and on the foundation of heaven, and in the storehouses of the winds. How the winds are divided, and how they are weighed, and how the springs of the winds are divided and numbered, according to the power of the wind, and the power of the light of the moon, and according to the power of righteousness. And the divisions of the stars according to their names, and how all the divisions are made. And the thunders according to the places where they fall, and all the divisions that are made among the lightnings, that they may flash, and their host, that they may obey at once. For to the thunder resting places were given, as it awaits its voice, and the thunder and the lightning are not separated. And although they are not one, by the wind the two of them go and are not separated. For when the lightning flashes, the thunder utters its voice, and the wind at the right time causes it to rest, and divides equally between them. For the storehouse of their times is like that of the sand, and each of them is checked by a rain, and is turned back by the power of the wind, and driven thus according to the many regions of the earth. The wind of the sea is masculine and strong, and according to the power of its strength it draws its back with a rain, and thus it is driven and scattered into all the mountains of the earth. The wind of the frost is its own angel, and the wind of the hail is a good angel. The wind of the snow God has released because of its power, and the spirit in it is special, and what arises from it is like smoke. And its name is frost. And the wind of the mist is not mingled with them in their storehouses, but has a special storehouse, because its course is glorious, both in light and in darkness, and in winter and in summer, and in its storehouse is an angel. The wind of the dew, its dwelling, is at the ends of the heaven, and it is connected with the storehouses of the rain, and its course is in winter and in summer, and its clouds and the clouds of the mist are associated, and the one gives to the other. And when the wind of the rain moves from its storehouse, the angels come and open the storehouse and bring it out. And when it is scattered on all the dry land, it is joined with the water that is on the dry land. And whenever it is joined with the water on the dry land, missing text. For the waters are for those who dwell on the dry land, for they are nourishment for the dry land from the Most High who is in heaven. Therefore, there is a measure for the rain, and the angels are given charge of it. All these things I saw toward the garden of the righteous. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th of the month, in the life of Noah, in that parable, I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens quake, and the host of the Most High and the angels, thousands of thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, were greatly disturbed. And the head of days was sitting on the throne of his glory, and the holy and righteous angels were standing around him. And great trembling took hold of me, and fear seized me, and my loins were crushed, and my kidneys were loosened, and I fell on my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he raised me up, my spirit returned. For I had not been able to endure the appearance of that host, and its turmoil and the quaking of the heavens. And Michael said to me, What have you seen that you are so disturbed? Until today has the day of his mercy lasted, and he has been merciful and long-suffering to those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits has prepared for those who do not worship the righteous judge, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, and that day has been prepared for the elect, a covenant, for the sinners, a visitation. And on that day, 2 monsters were separated. The female monster, whose name is Leviathan, to dwell in the depth of the sea, above the fountains of the waters. But the name of the male is Behemoth, who occupies with his breast the trackless desert named Dundain, east of the garden where the chosen and righteous dwell, where my great-grandfather was taken up, the 7th from Adam, the first man whom the Lord of spirits created. And I asked another angel to show me the might of those monsters, how they were separated in one day, and were thrown, the one into the depth of the sea, and the other into the dry land of the desert. And he said to me, Hear, son of man, you wish to know what is hidden. And the angel of peace, who was with me, said, These 2 monsters, prepared according to the greatness of the Lord, will provide food for the chosen and righteous. So that the punishment of the Lord of spirits rests upon them, in order that the punishment of the Lord of spirits does not go forth in vain. And the children will be killed with their mothers, and the children with their fathers. When the punishment of the Lord of spirits rests upon them, afterwards will be the judgment according to his mercy and his long-suffering. And I saw in those days long cords were given to those angels, and they took for themselves wings, and flew, and went toward the north. And I asked the angel, Why did these take the cords and go? And he said to me, They went so that they may measure. And the angel who went with me said to me, These will bring the measurements of the righteous, and the ropes of the righteous to the righteous, so that they may rely on the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And the chosen will begin to dwell with the chosen, and these are the measurements that will be given to faith, and they will strengthen righteousness. And these measurements will reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who were destroyed by the desert, and those who were devoured by beasts, and those who were devoured by the fish of the sea, so that they may return and rely on the day of the chosen one. For no one will be destroyed in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and no one is able to be destroyed. And all who are in the heights of heaven received a command, and power, and one voice, and one light like fire were given to him. And that one, before anything, they blessed with their voice. And they exalted and glorified with wisdom, and they were wise in speech and in the spirit of life. And the Lord of spirits seated the chosen one upon the throne of glory, and he will judge all the works of the holy ones in the heights of heaven. And in the balance he will weigh their deeds. And when he will lift up his face to judge their secret ways according to the word of the name of the Lord of spirits, and their paths according to the way of the righteous, judgment of the Lord of spirits, they will all speak with one voice, and bless and glorify and exalt and sanctify the name of the Lord of spirits. And all the host of the heavens will cry out, and all the holy ones in the heights. And the host of the Lord, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the ophanim, and all the angels of power, and all the angels of the dominions, and the chosen one, and the other host who are on the dry land, and over the water on that day. And they will raise one voice, and they will bless and glorify and exalt, with the spirit of faithfulness, and with the spirit of wisdom, and with a spirit long-suffering, and with the spirit of mercy, and with the spirit of judgment and peace, and with the spirit of goodness. And they will all say with one voice, Blessed is he, and blessed be the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And all who sleep not in the heights of heaven will bless him. And all the holy ones who are in heaven will bless him. And all the chosen who dwell in the garden of life. And every spirit of light that is able to bless and glorify and exalt and sanctify your blessed name. And all flesh that in excess of its power glorifies and blesses your name forever and ever. For great is the mercy of the Lord of spirits, and he is slow to anger, and all his deeds and all his mighty acts, as many as he has done, he has revealed to the righteous and the chosen in the name of the Lord of spirits. And thus the Lord commanded the kings, and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who possess the land, and he said, Open your eyes, and lift up your horns, if you are able to recognize the chosen one. And the Lord of spirits seated him upon the throne of his glory, and the spirit of righteousness was poured upon him, and the word of his mouth will slay all the sinners, and all the unrighteous will perish from his presence. And there will stand up on that day all the kings and the mighty, and the exalted, and those who possess the land. And they will see and recognize that he sits on the throne of his glory, and righteousness is judged in his presence, and no lying word is spoken in his presence. And pain will come upon them as upon a woman in labor, when the child enters the mouth of the womb, and she has difficulty in giving birth. And one group of them will look at the other, and they will be terrified and will cast down their faces, and pain will seize them when they see that Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. And the kings and the mighty and all who possess the land will bless and glorify and exalt him who rules over all, who was hidden. For from the beginning the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in the presence of his might, and he revealed him to the chosen. And the congregation of the chosen and holy will be sown, and all the chosen will stand in his presence on that day. And all the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who rule the land will fall on their faces in his presence, and they will worship and set their hope on that Son of Man, and they will supplicate and petition for mercy from him. But the Lord of spirits himself will press them, so that they will hasten to depart from his presence, and their faces will be filled with shame, and the darkness will grow deeper on their faces. And he will deliver them to the angels for punishment, so that they may exact retribution from them for the iniquity that they did to his children and his chosen ones. And they will be a spectacle for the righteous and for his chosen ones, and they will rejoice over them, because the wrath of the Lord of spirits rests upon them, and his sword is drunk with them. And the righteous and the chosen will be saved on that day, and the faces of the sinners and the unrighteous they will henceforth not see, and the Lord of spirits will abide over them, and with that Son of Man they will eat, and they will lie down and rise up for ever and ever. And the righteous and chosen will have arisen from the earth, and have ceased to cast down their faces, and have put on the garment of glory. And this will be your garment, the garment of life from the Lord of spirits. And your garments will not wear out, and your glory will not fade in the presence of the Lord of spirits. In those days, the mighty and the kings who possess the land will implore the angels of his punishment, to whom they have been delivered, to give them a little respite, that they might fall down and worship in the presence of the Lord of spirits, and that they might confess their sins in his presence. They will bless and glorify the Lord of spirits, and say, Blessed is the Lord of spirits, and the Lord of kings, and the Lord of the mighty, and the Lord of the rich, and the Lord of glory, and the Lord of wisdom. Your power is splendid in every secret thing for all generations, and your glory forever and ever. Deep are all your secrets and without number, and your righteousness is beyond reckoning. Now we know that we should glorify and bless the Lord of the kings, and him who reigns over all kings. And they will say, Would that we might be given respite, that we might glorify and praise and make confession in the presence of your glory. Now we desire a little respite and do not find it. We pursue it and do not lay hold of it. And light has vanished from our presence, and darkness is our dwelling forever and ever. For in his presence we did not make confession, nor did we glorify the name of the Lord of the kings. Our hope was on the scepter of our kingdom and throne of our glory. But on the day of our affliction and tribulation, it does not save us, nor do we find respite to make confession, that our Lord is faithful in all his deeds and his judgment and his justice, and his judgments have no respect for persons. And we vanish from his presence because of our deeds, and all our sins are reckoned in righteousness. Now they will say to themselves, Our lives are full of ill-gotten wealth, but it does not prevent us from descending into the flame of the torment of Sheol. And after that their faces will be filled with darkness and shame in the presence of that Son of Man, and from his presence they will be driven, and a sword will abide before him in their midst. Thus says the Lord of spirits. This is the law and the judgment of the mighty and the kings, and the exalted, and those who possess the land in the presence of the Lord of spirits. and other figures I saw hidden in that place. I heard the voice of the angel saying, "These are the angels who descended upon the earth, and what was hidden they revealed to human beings, and they led human beings astray, so that they committed sin." In those days Noah saw that the earth had tilted, and its destruction was near. And he set out from there and went to the ends of the earth and cried to his great-grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with a bitter voice, "Hear me, hear me, hear me." And after that there was great quaking upon the earth, and a voice was heard from heaven, and I fell on my face. And Enoch, my great-grandfather, came and stood by me and said to me, "Why have you cried to me with bitter cry and lamentation?" I said to him, "Tell me what is happening upon the earth, that the earth staggers so and shakes, lest I perish with it." And after this my great-grandfather Enoch took me by my hand and raised me up and said to me, "Go, for I have asked the Lord of spirits about the quaking upon the earth. A command has gone forth from the presence of the Lord against the inhabitants of the earth, that their end is accomplished. For they have learned all the secrets of the angels, and all the violence of the Satans, and all their powers, the hidden secrets, and all the powers of those who practice sorcery, and the powers of brightly colored garments, and the powers of those who cast molten images for all the earth, and how silver is produced from the dust of the earth, and how soft metal is poured out on the earth. For lead and tin are not produced from the earth like the former. There is a fountain that produces them, and an angel stands in it, and the angel is preeminent. And he said to me, "Because of their iniquity, their judgment has been accomplished and will not be withheld in my presence. Because of the sorceries that they have searched out and learned, the earth will be destroyed, and those who dwell on it. And these will never have a place of refuge forever. For they have shown them what is hidden, and they are judged. But as for you, my son, the Lord of spirits knows that you are pure and blameless of this reproach concerning the mysteries. And he has established your name among the holy ones, and he will preserve you from among those who dwell on the earth. And he has established your righteous seed to be kings and for great honors. And from your seed there will flow a fountain of the righteous and the holy, and they will be without number forever." And after this, he showed me the angels of punishment, who are ready to go forth and let loose all the power of the water that is beneath the earth, that it might be for the judgment and destruction of all who reside and dwell on the earth. And the Lord of spirits commanded the angels who were going forth, that they not raise their hands, but that they keep watch. For these angels were in charge of the power of the waters. And I went forth from the presence of Enoch. And in those days the word of God came to me and said to me, "Noah, your lot has come up to me, a lot without blame, a lot of love and uprightness. And now the angels are making a wooden vessel, and when the angels have completed that task, I will put my hand upon it and protect it. And from it will come the seed of life, and a change will take place, so that the earth will not remain desolate. And I will establish your seed in my presence forever and ever. And I will scatter those who dwell with you, and I will not again bring temptation on the face of the earth. And they will be blessed and multiplied on the earth in the name of the Lord." And he will confine those angels who showed iniquity in that burning valley that my great-grandfather Enoch had shown me previously in the west by the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great disturbance and troubling of the waters. And when all this happened, from the fiery molten metal and the troubling of the waters in that place, the smell of sulfur was generated, and it mixed with those waters, and the valley of those angels who had led humans astray burned beneath that ground. And through the valleys of that area rivers of fire issue, where those angels will be judged who led astray those who dwell on the earth. And in those days, those waters will serve the kings and the mighty and the exalted, and those who dwell on the earth, for the healing of their flesh and the judgment of their spirits. And their spirits are full of pleasure, so that their flesh will be judged, because they denied the Lord of spirits, and they see their judgment every day and do not believe in his name. And the more their flesh is burnt, the more a change takes place in their spirits forever and ever, because before the Lord of spirits no one speaks a lying word. For judgment will come upon them, because they believe in the pleasure of their flesh, but they deny the Lord of spirits. And those same waters will be changed in those days, for when those angels are judged in those waters, those springs of water will change their temperature, and when the angels come up, the waters of those springs will be changed and become cold. And I heard Michael answer and say, "This judgment with which the angels are judged is a testimony for the kings and the mighty who possess the land. For these waters of judgment serve for the healing of the flesh of the kings, and for the pleasure of their flesh. And they do not see and do not believe that those waters will be changed and become a fire that burns forever." And after this, my great-grandfather gave me the explanation of all the secrets in a book, and the parables that were given to him, and gathered them for me in the words of the book of parables. And on that day Michael answered and said to Raphael, "The power of the Spirit seizes me and aggravates me because of the harshness of the judgment of the secrets, the judgment of the angels. For who can endure the harshness of the judgment that has been executed, before which they melt?" And again Michael answered and said to Raphael, "Who is there who would not soften his heart over it, and whose kidneys would not be troubled by this word? Judgment has gone forth against them who have led them out thus." But when they stood before the Lord of spirits, Michael spoke thus to Raphael, "I will not take their part under the eye of the Lord, because the Lord of spirits is angry with them, because they act as if they were like the Lord. Therefore, everything that is hidden will come upon them forever and ever, for no angel or human will receive their lot. But they alone have received their judgment forever and ever. And after this judgment they will trouble them and aggravate them, because they have shown this to those who dwell on the earth." Look, the names of those angels, and these are their names. Their first is Shemi-Hazah, and the second is Artekope. The third is Ramashel. The fourth is Kokabel. The fifth is Turel. The sixth is Ramel. The seventh is Daniel. The eighth is Zekel. The ninth is Barakel. The 10th is Asael. The 11th is Hermani. The 12th is Matarel. The 13th is Basasel. The 14th is Ananel. The 15th is Turel. The 16th is Shamsiel. The 17th is Sahriel. The 18th is Tumiel. The 19th is Turiel. The 20th is Yamiel. The 21st is Azazel. These are the chiefs of their angels and their names, and the leaders of their hundreds, and the leaders of their 50s, and the leaders of their 10s. And the name of the first is Yakon. This is the one who led all the children of the angels astray, and brought them down upon the earth, and led them astray through the daughters of men. And the name of the second is Asbeel. This one gave evil counsel to the children of the holy angels, and led them astray, so that they ruined their bodies through the daughters of men. And the name of the third is Gadreel. This is the one who showed all the blows of death to the sons of men. And he led Eve astray, and he showed the shield and the coat of mail, and the sword for battle, and all the implements of death to the sons of men. And from his hand they have gone forth against those who dwell on the earth from that day and forever and ever. And the name of the fourth is Pene Mue. This one showed the sons of men the bitter and the sweet, and showed them all the secrets of their wisdom. He gave humans knowledge about writing with ink and papyrus, and therefore many went astray from of old and forever and until this day. For humans were not born for this purpose, to confirm their trustworthiness through pen and ink. For humans were not created to be different from the angels, so that they should remain pure and righteous. And death, which ruins everything, would not have laid its hand on them. But through this, their knowledge, they are perishing, and through this power, it devours us. And the name of the fifth is Kasdeya. This is the one who showed the sons of men all the evil blows of spirits and demons, and the blows of the fetus in the womb, so that it aborts, and the blow of the soul, the bite of the serpent, and the blow that comes in the noonday heat, the son of the serpent, whose name is Tabaet. This is the number of Kasbeel, the chief of the oath, which he showed to the holy ones when he was dwelling on high in glory, and its, or his, name is Becca. This one told Michael that he should show him the secret name, so that they might mention it in the oath, so that those who showed the sons of men everything that was in secret might quake at the name and the oath. And this is the power of this oath, for it is powerful and strong. And he placed this oath, Akka, in the hand of Michael. And these are the secrets of this oath, and they are strong through his oath. And through that oath the heaven was suspended, before the age was created, and forever. Through it the earth was founded upon the waters, and from the hidden recesses of the mountains come forth the beautiful waters from the creation of the age and forever. And through that oath the sea was created, and as its foundation for the time of wrath he placed for it the sand. And it does not pass over it from the creation of the age and forever. And through that oath the pillars of the deep were made firm, and they have stood and are not shaken from their place, from of old and forever. And through that oath the sun and the moon complete their course, and they do not transgress their commands, from of old and forever. And through that oath the stars complete their courses, and he calls their names, and they answer him from of old and forever. And likewise the spirits of the water, of the winds, and all the breezes and their paths from all the quarters of the winds. And there are preserved the voices of the thunder and the light of the lightnings. And there are preserved the storehouses of the hail, and the storehouses of the hoarfrost, and the storehouses of the mist, and the storehouses of the rain and the dew. And all of these confess and give thanks before the Lord of spirits, and they glorify him with all their might. And their food is in all thanksgiving, And they give thanks and glorify and exalt in the name of the Lord of spirits forever and ever. And over them this oath is mighty, and by it they are preserved. And their paths are preserved, and their courses will not perish. And they had great joy, and they blessed and glorified and exalted, because the name of that Son of Man had been revealed to them. And he sat on the throne of his glory, and the whole judgment was given to the Son of Man, and he will make sinners vanish and perish from the face of the earth. And those who led the world astray will be bound in chains, and in the assembly place of their destruction they will be shut up, and all their works will vanish from the face of the earth. And from then on there will be nothing that is corruptible, for that Son of Man has appeared, and he has sat down on the throne of his glory, and all evil will vanish from his presence. And the word of that Son of Man will go forth and will prevail in the presence of the Lord of spirits. This is the third parable of Enoch. Chapters 70 and 71. And after this, while he was living, his name was lifted up into the presence of that Son of Man, and into the presence of the Lord of spirits, from among those who dwell on the earth. He was lifted up on the chariots of the wind, and his name departed from among them. And from that day I was not reckoned among them, and he set me between two winds, between the north and the west, where the angels took cords to measure for me the place of the chosen and the righteous. And there I saw the first fathers and the righteous, who were dwelling in that place from of old. And after that, my spirit was taken away, and it ascended to heaven, and I saw the sons of the holy angels, and they were stepping on flames of fire, and their garments were white, as were their tunics, and the light of their faces was like snow. And I saw 2 rivers of fire, and the light of that fire shone like hyacinth. And I fell on my face before the Lord of spirits, and the angel Michael, one of the archangels, took me by my right hand and raised me up, and he brought me out to all the secrets, and he showed me all the secrets of mercy, and he showed me all the secrets of righteousness, and he showed me all the secrets of the ends of heaven and all the treasuries of the stars, and all the luminaries go forth from there before the holy ones. And he took my spirit, even me, Enoch, to the heaven of heavens, and I saw there, as it were, a house, built of hailstones, and between those stones were tongues of living fire. And my spirit saw in that light a circle that encircled that house of fire. From the 4 sides of that house came rivers full of living fire, and they encircled that house. And around it were seraphim and cherubim and ophanim, and those who sleep not, but guard the throne of his glory. And I saw angels that could not be counted, thousands of thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They were surrounding that house, and Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Panuel, and the holy angels who are in the heights of heaven, were going in and out in that house. And there came out of that house Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Panuel, and many holy angels without number, and with them was the head of days, and his head was white and pure as wool, and his garments were indescribable. And I fell on my face, and all my flesh melted, and my spirit was transformed, and I cried out with a loud voice, with a spirit of power, and I blessed and praised and exalted, and those blessings that went forth from my mouth were acceptable in the presence of that head of days. And that head of days came with Michael and Raphael and Gabriel and Panuel, and thousands and tens of thousands of angels without number. And he came to me and greeted me with his voice and said to me, "You are that Son of Man, who was born for righteousness, and righteousness dwells on you. And the righteousness of the head of days will not forsake you. And he said to me, He proclaims peace to you in the name of the age that is to be, for from there peace has proceeded from the creation of the age, and thus you will have it forever and forever and ever. And all will walk on your path, since righteousness will never forsake you. With you will be their dwelling, and with you their lot, and from you they will not be separated forever and forever and ever. And thus there will be length of days with that Son of Man, and there will be peace for the righteous, and the path of truth for the righteous, in the name of the Lord of spirits, forever and ever.